Hello and welcome to the 7th edition of our Maca Podcast. I'm Tim David, and today I'm here with Victor Rivera, the Executive Director of Loaves Fishes in Harlingen. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Tim. Appreciate you all.
Let's start with the first question. What is the main mission of your organization?
So our main mission at Loaves and Fishes, as a matter of fact, we're celebrating 35 years this year. And so our goal and mission has always been to help serve the underserved. Anyone who is homeless, hungry, or just needs support services, we're there for them. So essentially, we help many people who are suffering or struggling to make ends meet. And so it's been our goal and mission for many years now. So we're very happy to continue to provide this much needed service in our community.
All right. Who do you primarily serve in the community?
So we serve different populations. Our primary goal is really to help anyone who's struggling and needs support services. We do work with seniors, we work with families, individuals. And so often our goal and effort is to reach the community that's struggling to put either food on their tables or struggling to find shelter when there is a need for it. And we also serve as an emergency shelter. So we serve an array of organizations and people who need to seek support and shelter there at Loaves and Fishes.
All right. How do people usually find out about your services?
Well, we have to be current, and especially with the way social media is providing a much needed avenue to share information. So while we rely on social media, believe it or not, we still rely on old-fashioned contacts, and that's through word of mouth. Sometimes even advertising or using opportunities like this, using your media department to share information. So it's a great way to uh, convey to the community the importance of our agency. So we use, again, we go and visit churches, we go and visit community centers, but primarily we do use social media as a way to promote our agency and share information.
Yeah. How often can someone receive food assistance?
So food assistance, we do have goals to meet. So we do rely on the support from the food bank of the RGV. And so essentially what we do is if people do need food, I mean, at any point they can come and get food, but we have a schedule. So as a matter of fact, this week we are doing a food distribution Wednesday and Thursday. So we do it twice a month, the first week and the third week of every month. And so we disseminate information to the community when we'll be serving from, like, for example, we serve from 9 to 4 o'clock to Wednesdays and Thursdays. But anybody can come in as long as they are within our range of service. So the food bank, they have particular structured ways to serve our area. So that way we don't duplicate. Essentially, is we don't want to intermingle with other food pantries. And so the goal is to try and get as many people in our area to serve. And so, but they can come in twice a month to get those services.
Yeah. Do you provide emergency meals for people in urgent situations?
So if you recall, last year we had the flood situation, and so the shelter we became an emergency shelter, and so we provided emergency assistance for families that were struggling, and so we were able to provide food bags. We were able to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner in case of an emergency, but we provide that all the time. But when it's an emergency, we basically it's like red alert. We make sure that we have enough food to prepare. We have enough food bags. And so, in the event of an emergency, we're able to do that. Regardless of the restrictions or the rules, we make it available to anyone in the community who needs the food. So, we don't put any parameters or any instructions. But when we go back to regular services, then we continue with the directions and the rules of the food bank.
Hmm. Are there any requirements or documents needed to receive help?
Very simple requirements. What we essentially need from our community is a form of ID. If we could also request a utility bill, it's just so that we can determine where they live in our community so we can serve that area for them. So, very simple requirements. But if they don't, then we work with them to make sure that they still get food. It's just something that the food bank does require so we can have uh, food distribution and do it accordingly. Mhm.
How can someone volunteer or support your organization?
We love volunteers. So essentially, we do is anyone who's coming to volunteer to either prepare a meal, even volunteers to help prepare food bags. We get volunteers that come in and help, organize the shelter, but anyone can come in to really serve our community. If there's a need, there's even an opportunity. We're doing a blood drive next week on the 8th. If they can't volunteer financially or to give up their time to help in the food pantry, a blood drive. So we work with the South Texas Blood and Tissue organization to help. Try and get people from the community to donate their precious blood. I'm O negative, so it's important to donate as well because it's the golden blood, they call it, because everyone can use this particular blood type. And so if you're willing to give up your time and to donate blood on the 8th from 2 to 6, we would be happy to have you. It'll be there at the Loaves and Fishes dining hall. So there's different ways to volunteer. Even our newsletter, we have volunteers that come in to fold newsletters. So anyone who can help is greatly appreciated.
Mhm. What days and times are your services available?
So the services are essentially Monday through Friday. We serve breakfast from 8 to 9 o'clock. We serve lunch from 12 to 1, and we serve dinner from 4 to 5. But anyone coming to seek shelter, they can come in anytime during our office hours. If there is an emergency and they're seeking shelter on the weekends, for example, we're just a phone call away and we can provide those services. And so anyone who's needing to seek shelter or to get food bags, they can come in at our office at 514 South East Street, and they can come in and visit us and just talk to me or to Priscilla, our administrative assistant, who can help with that.
All right.
Mhm.
What improvements or expansions are you hoping to make in the future?
Well, we're always looking to expand our services, especially outreach. One of the things we are looking at writing grants and seeking support is a mobile truck. So if you see a mobile bus driving around and representing Loaves and Fishes, that's the goal. In the next couple of years, we're looking at expanding our services, not only here in Cameron County, but also in Willacy, Starr County, Hidalgo. So we can provide much needed services. There's many families who are experiencing food insecurity. Essentially, what that means is people are struggling to have food and to be able to make meals and to live healthy lifestyles. And so our goal is to try and get into those different rural areas where many people have struggled with transportation. And so what we want to do in the near future is to park this truck, this mobile unit, in different community centers or perhaps a different church where people can come in and get those much needed services, whether it's a food bag, whether it's clothing, any kind of support services we have available to the community. And so that is our goal, hopefully, to get that mobile truck.
Hmm. Well, thank you, Mr. Rivera. That was very informative, and I'm glad you shared that information with us from Loaves and Fishes.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you, Ms. Guajardo, and the students here at the Academy for providing this much needed service to be able to share and communicate to our community. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that does it for this edition of our Maca Podcast. I'm Tim David, and we'll see you on the next one.